The South African National Taxi Council here in the Western Cape have welcomed the efforts of the Health Department and other role players to bring a pop-up vaccination site here to the Cape Town taxi rank. A short while ago, we heard that around 30 vaccine shots have already been administered here at this pop-up site behind me. We spoke to quite a number of taxi drivers and also commuters who made use of this opportunity. Now, here in the Western Cape, according to Health MEC Noma French Mbombo, some 2.4 million vaccination shots have already been administered, although the department is concerned about the low number of the males that are being vaccinated. Noma French Mbombo telling us that this number currently stands at 43%, and this, of course, this outreach here today, one of many taking place across Cape Town and across the province. One of those taxi drivers and owners that actually came to be vaccinated, he came for a second shot today, is Stanley Odendaal. Mr. Odendaal, a very warm good day to you. Most of the vaccines here today are given our first shots. They are Johnson & Johnson. You say that you've had a different experience because you already had a first shot of Pfizer. Explain to us what happened when you came to this vaccination pop-up site this morning.
For me, first of all, I want to thank the government for the initiative, for the for this. They make it more, how would I say now, it's reliable now for us as taxi drivers and taxi owners here, because once the peak is finished, then the guys will have a lot of time to come to vaccinate themselves. And I've spoken to a couple of guys that already were here already. I've encouraged them to take the vaccine because it is important to take the vaccine. I know the vaccine doesn't guarantee, but it prolongs the procedure of the COVID-19, and a lot of our drivers have already been vaccinated today. Is the first, and I just want to say thank you to the government for the initiative. In Santaco is behind us also, and yes, and I think they have to explain to other taxi ranks as well. Like Biawal is also a big taxi rank, and maybe in the township as well, and that will give the drivers also more concern to take the vaccine, because we are working with people on a daily basis. We transport thousands of people every day. If I count we drive 15 people every trip. And when you multiply it, we the taxi industry transport about 80% of the commuters. And my concern was always, what about our drivers? But I'm just glad that the government reached out to us for this initiative, and I would like them to continue with this initiative, because the best time to have this vaccination is from 9 o'clock when the peak is finished, between 9 and 2, whatever how long they're going to operate.
I understand that you got your second shot of Pfizer this morning. Explain to us, did you know that the site was opening today as a pop-up site? Because you told me off camera just now that you were due to receive your second shot quite a long time ago.
Yes,
so how did it come about that you came for your second shot here today?
I was surprised this morning. I was standing there before you interview. I didn't know they were going to do it now. But for me, it is a benefit for us now as drivers, because we will have the time now to be vaccinated while we're waiting for our loads. And what I would say is, I just want to thank the government for this initiative, and I want them to extend it to other areas as well, because we know our COVID is a bit high in the Western Cape as well, and that's also a concern. And other thing is that I would also like to encourage the customers, our passengers that support us, that they also have to come for the vaccine. And I put out a pamphlet in my van just to let them know there will be vaccination on site on the way. And so I spoke to some passengers this morning in the taxi while I was driving. They said that is a good thing that the government is doing. We just have to let them know when they're going to be available. Then they will come in the morning early on the way and take their vaccines, and just to protect their family also as well.
Mr. Odendaal, thank you very much for talking to me. Stanley Odendaal, of course, a taxi driver and owner here at Cape Town Taxi Rank, just speaking to us about his experience this morning. He came for his second Pfizer jab, but the majority of the vaccines used here at these outreach pop-up vaccination sites are, of course, the Johnson & Johnson one shot. And I spoke to one of the commuters a short while ago. She travels between Cape Town and Gugulethu, and she said when she got here, she did not know that there was a vaccination site. When she saw the queue of people, she then decided on the spot to come and take her vaccine. And of course, she is long gone. The area behind me, if I can show you, is where there is a waiting area. There are just about 4 people at the moment. Those, of course, would be those that had already received their vaccinations and are now waiting out their 15-minute time period. And still quite a number of people, if you'll see to my right-hand side, coming through at the moment. We've seen some security staff coming through, commuters as well as hawkers, and also taxi drivers and taxi owners coming and making use of this opportunity. And according to authorities, they will be out in their numbers. According to the City of Cape Town, they've been using their mobile vans. We know that the Health MEC has taken her efforts to various places, including nightclubs out in Rands and Khayelitsha, and also saying that they will be targeting areas such as Cubana, Long Street. We know that also here in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, there has been outreaches at various homeless shelters, the Hope Exchange, for example, a few weeks ago, and other homeless shelters to get homeless people vaccinated as well. And according to the Western Cape, their target is to vaccinate some 4.9 million people by the end of the year. Of course, we know that given the President's address last night, lower restrictions at this point in time will mean more moving around of people in an effort to open up the economy even further just ahead of the tourist season. And of course, we know that the scientists have also warned of an inevitable 4th wave. So according to the department and officials here in the Western Cape, they are working flat out on the ground to get as many people vaccinated as possible. And they believe that taking the vaccines to people, to where they are, be it within the communities, be it at taxi ranks, is one way of doing that.